Disclaimer, none of my videos in any way signify this is what you have to do, should do, or could really even be a good idea. We just show what we do and how we do it. And if you want to do it our way, that's fine. If you don't, nothing implies that you have to or it's even the right way to do it. So on that, let's hit that intro. Okay, so here's the issue. I have a wing issue. Not a chicken wing issue, a plow wing issue. There's my plow. My wings, I was having a problem where the rubber flaps on the bottom of the wings kept folding back and going behind, back here behind the blade, and it was just letting snow go through there. So last week, Ryan and I unbolted the wings, or unbolted the rubber, moved it in more so it was up against the blade there, so it couldn't push back. But it kept pushing back anyway with heavy wet snow loads. So what I did was, those rubber things have been cut a few times and remodified. I've had to move them around just because the way that they had worn and because the way they sat on here. So what I ended up doing was I ordered a whole new set of the rubber pieces that go on there, and I put them on. Now, I've since taken them off, and now they're sitting on there, because if you guys watch that video where I took, these are Buyers Pro wings, and I had cut them and brought them in and then re-welded them front and back. I braced them. You can see I braced them in the back, so I've never had a problem with them moving. And I did it with the last that I had too. But the problem is now they're not sitting to the angle that I want them to be, so that they have more of a scoop, which is how I had them designed for this plow. That's what works best for me. So what I need is, these wings need, the metal needs to come down more. You know, obviously not all the way down, but it needs to come down more so that these will stay in. If you can see it, they're not, I don't know, well, you guys can see that, but they go back. They're not coming straight down. Like that rubber piece should come straight down with the edge of this metal wing all the way down, and that'll keep them more scooped instead of almost straight out like they are right now. So what I need to do is weld more steel on here so that the wing itself comes down further. It'll come down straight and it'll hold this rubber forward. So I ran to Buffalo this morning and I got steel plate. I have a bunch of scrap steel, but I didn't have the stuff I needed to do this. So I got these chunks, which I'm going to use for bracing. But once I weld a bigger piece coming down further, I'm going to weld straight down pieces. That's where chunks of this are going to go, to keep it from, when I push up against, to keep this metal piece here from bending. So it'll just be more support. But I grabbed a few chunks of steel. The place I go in Buffalo called Metal Supermarkets, they'll cut anything you want. They have no minimums. They're great, but they have a huge aisle of just scrap cutoffs from other things they were cutting for customers, and you can pick through it and grab whatever you want, and they sell it $1 a pound. This all ended up being 16.1 pounds, so he sold it all to me for 16 bucks. So now what I got to do is get these rubber pieces off of here and get some measurements and cut this steel and get this welded together. I almost started myself on fire. I should probably put my welding jacket on first. So this is how this is gonna go. It's gonna go, actually that's not right at all. It's gonna go on there just like that. But see how I can't even push it in because the rubber piece is pushing me outward. So it's gonna go on there like that. And I will probably I don't know if I can hold it. I'll probably put one across this piece right here where that part comes up as well. But I definitely need this piece here, and then I'll continue it over that way. I can weld it across right there. I can weld it straight up where it is going to hit the other piece, and then I can weld that other piece straight up as bracing coming up. Now I'll just cut the corners off, round them off so there's nothing sharp on there. So now I need to get this rubber piece off here, and so that I can clean this up and start welding these. I think if I cut each one at like 4 inches, this is thick stuff. This is not going to cut easy. I really need a plasma cutter. That's what I need. If I did them at like 4 inches, I think that'd be good. So I'm going to get these cut and then get them cleaned up so that I can weld them. We'll get them on there. So I got that one burning there all the way down. I don't know if you can see it, but that piece is in there. And now, I mean, that definitely isn't going anywhere. I'm still gonna fill this in. I'm gonna weld down the other side, and it'll definitely be strong enough. Probably stronger than the rest of the plow. I mean, that stuff is solid. That is some thick. That's like 1/2 inch. It's way overkill for what I'm doing here. I don't even need to do that, but I'd rather overdo it than underdo it. Okay, so sitting here messing around with some stuff. So I finished welding it there, welded across there. I got this side welded all the way down, that side, and that side welded all the way down. So I cut this piece in and I just tacked it in that corner and I tacked it up there. I'm not so sure that I need bracing behind this piece. Most of the force is right here. I don't know. I was thinking about just putting one across here anyway, but I think that once I fill this in, once I fill this groove in with weld and I fill that in all the way down, I really don't think this is going to move. This is 1/4 inch plate. And like I said, I'll fill that in, and then weld down the opposite side and weld it across there. I don't think that's going to move, so I don't think I'm going to brace that. I'm just going to do this for now. After running it a few times, if I find out this is starting to bend, I'll keep an eye on it. Then I can always just quickly add a brace in there, no big deal. But I just don't think I'm going to add a piece in. I don't think I need it there. So I'm going to finish getting this welded in and then go from there. So that's it. It's on there. It's welded. It's all braced. Like I said, that's strong as hell. I don't need any bracing across that. And if I do, I'll just add it on later. But now that's all on and good to go. Now I just got to paint it up and put that rubber flat back on. So here they are. I have them out here cooling. There's that one there. I still feel the heat coming off it. And then here's this one here. Now before anybody goes picking on my welds, I know my welds aren't perfect, but I've never had a weld break. So sometimes they look really good and sometimes they're just so-so. But like I said, they've never broke on me. I've welded so much stuff and I've never had anything break on me. So either way, they're strong. That's 1/4-inch plate. It's the same thickness as what the wings are themselves. It might even be a hair thicker, I think. But these are definitely not going to break off. So there they are. The wings are on. They're back how they should be. Instead of like normal wings where they just go out at an angle, mine kind of cup in, so it makes like a scoop. And that's how I wanted them. So plenty of room on the bottom. What I might do is put another bolt through here or through here on each side, just to suck this center section in more. But for right now, they'll do exactly what I need them to do. Now, another thing I thought of doing in the past, which I'd really like to do, I think would really help that out and get the full scoop that I'm really aiming to get, is if you ever watch the channel Mossman, what he did, he custom built his wings, but he used 1/2-inch thick conveyor belt, and I believe he doubled it up. And then it's a lot more pliable. He can get it to go right into the shape of the wing, and he bolted it right in. And that's what I'd wanted to do in the past, to get that full scoop form that I'm looking to get. But with the way that the wings were and didn't have enough steel that came down to support that, it would have been too pliable and it would have just pushed out and pushed backwards. So now that I have that other steel on there, I think what I'm going to do is, if it turns out that I have an issue with those and I'm not getting the full scoop that I want to get, I will get some of that conveyor belt and I will bring it down further, and that'll allow me to form it into those the actual shape of those wings to give me that full scoop that I'm looking for. It'll be a lot easier to do now, and like I said, that stuff is a lot more pliable. Now, for those of you that wonder why I want that full scoop on a pickup for plowing, I don't really do anything where I have to windroll. And even when I do, like I have a couple long driveways where I have to windroll to one side, even with that full scoop and I have that blade angled all the way one way or the other, I still get plenty of windroll. It still shoots off just fine, even though I have the scoop. But for 90% of what I do, being driveways, and I don't have to back drag that many driveways, I can push up and push off to the side. There's plenty of room for me to put snow in almost all my driveways. So having that full scoop makes it so much easier and faster. I can push up and turn, and I don't have that trail off going in front of garage doors, things like that. So it allows me to carry that snow wherever I want it to go. And there's a few driveways I have that go in, they go around and then back this way again, and it allows me to grab that snow, take it wherever I want to take it, and dump it off without it running off in the trail off, like I said. So having the scoop and having the wings is very, very huge for me. I can do it without wings. I've done it before. I did it for years with just a regular straight blade, and it just takes longer, and it's a lot more cleanup and a lot more passes that I don't have time to screw around with, that I don't want to mess around with anyway. So having the scoop just allows me to carry that snow wherever I want to carry it to. And being driveways, I'm not carrying mass amounts of snow. Now, if you did a lot of real big parking lots, I highly suggest wings anyway, but standard the way they come. So you still have, they come in a little bit, but they're still angled out pretty far. I wouldn't suggest going to like almost a full scoop, which is what I'm doing here, because for parking lots, it's just not, it's not going to help you out that much. You know, for carrying snow, once you angle it both ways and you have one left trail in the middle and you want to carry that in, then fine. But wings, the regular way they are, will do that just fine. So for me, and for driveways and having to carry snow where I need it and going up and pushing off to the side instead of pulling everything back and back dragging, it's much easier to go this route, and that's why I did it this way.